Hello and thanks for watching. All the ideas contained within these videos are just that, they're ideas. Use these ideas as a jumping off point to create your own incredible access provision. And remember, it's really important to talk to the people who will be using the access you're creating and get their suggestions too.
I'm Catherine. I'm Marketing Officer at the New Wolsey Theatre, which is part of Ramps on the Moon. When we've got a show coming up at the theatre and we're working on the artwork, first of all, we tend to put into consideration the fonts and the colours that we use. So things with a lot of contrast and really clear fonts. So quite often, if a font comes back in title treatment that's just too cursive or it's all joined together, that one isn't necessarily accessible. So we then ask the designers to change it. We also then apply alt text whenever we upload the images to our website, which is basically just a description of what is going on in the picture. So for instance, with this Goldilocks artwork, you'd say it's a pink and white stripy tent with 3 brown bears facing towards it, gold title treatment above it, reading Goldilocks and the 3 bears, the rock and roll panto against a starry night sky. And that would be sufficient just to describe what's in it. If there is text in it, make sure you write out what it says. So for anyone who's visually impaired, the screen reader is letting them know what's in the image. It will then read exactly what you've got written on there. Another thing that we do in marketing is writing trigger warnings. So we'll go through the script and come up with things that might be a possible trigger for audience members and write that into a small summary sentence to go on the website, possibly in brochures and that kind of thing, and on social media posts as well. But mainly the website, as that's where all the up-to-date information will be found. So as we get closer to the show, we then obviously start to produce trailers, production trailers or rehearsal trailers. Once we get those in, I will then go through, and when we upload them to YouTube, I will caption it myself, which I just taught myself through on YouTube. There's a bit when you upload, it basically just says there's a subtitle drop down, and if you click on that, you can then create your own, and you go through and then add in timestamps and stuff like that, and that will just add it in. You can then download that as an SRT file at the end. And embed it into your video using Premiere Pro as a separate thing. And then you've got one where it's actually embedded rather than an optional tag on one on YouTube. And then other versions of trailers we do is audio described and a British Sign Language interpreted trailer as well. So the AD one first, I basically will take all the information that we have. So the copy, the dates, any access information, billing information, that kind of thing. And I will make it into a script. And then I will go and record that, basically me just saying it out loud, just so it's an audio file that we can then upload to SoundCloud and link to on our website. And so then for any blind or visually impaired audience members, they can listen to that instead, and it will just give all the context and all the information. That's the same for the British Sign Language flyer. Instead, we hire a local deaf actress. I will go through, give the same information, but I tend to make the language a bit more easier to understand, as English wouldn't be her first language, British Sign Language is. She will then sign it at home and film herself. I tend to ask her to do it landscape, wearing a plain dark top, and against a plain background as well. She'll send the file back to me, and I'll edit any bits where she has to look down at notes and that kind of thing, put it all together into one video, and then I upload that to YouTube and link to it on the website as well. Also goes on social media. And again, that's for any British Sign Language users, just has all the information in one place. Once the show has opened, we have an access table front of house, which has the model box of the set for people just to come and have a look. Alongside that, I'll then create large print versions of the programme. So for instance, this one again is the Goldilocks one. I literally just take the file and print it on A3 and then laminate it. And it's just a big programme that then people can come and look through. Also on the table goes a visual and easy read story, which I will write. I will take the script a little while before the show opens, and I'll go through it and basically write it out, but simplify it. And then when the production shots come to happen on the dress rehearsal, I will then sometimes point the photographer into any bits that I might need to match that story. And then I'll basically fill that in. So you tend to write the story bit first to get ahead of the game. And then once the dress rehearsal's happened and you've got the production shots, you can then add them in, and it then creates a whole visual story. So for instance, Burke and Hare, this is the visual and easy read story. Easy read just means I'll put it in a big clear font, and again in simplified language. So for instance, you'll put in it the cast and the crew. I tend to list the characters as well, and images of the characters and who they are, little summary, that kind of thing. And then I go through from Act 1 and then just match up pictures accordingly. Sometimes I have to repeat the image if I don't have enough, because of things like budgets. So, you can't get all the photos, so you have to repeat a bit. But generally, I just fill that in, print it out and laminate it, and that goes on the access table as well for anybody who might benefit from that. We also have a podcast at the New Wolsey Theatre, which obviously is audio. So for anybody who is deaf or hearing impaired, we transcribe the dialogue as well, so that they can see and read along what's being said. We don't always create programs, physical programs. So we'll create a digital one online that we ask people to just scan a QR code to download it. For some people who they might not have access to that or might not want that, we then create a free sheet that they can just pick up from the box office. It's just printed and has all the core information on it. It might not have any, like some of the extras, but just for printing's sake, it has all the core information like the cast and the creatives and that kind of thing.